Hey guys, YouTube Worm Hunter here. Alright, now here I am to begin my reviews for the Rocky movies. Starting off with a review for Rocky. So, what can I say about this film that really, everybody hasn't already said? I mean, this is a really, really great movie. I mean, this film was like an Academy Award winner at the time, and rightfully so. I mean, this film really is just Rocky really is just like a masterpiece, really. I mean, this film has definitely stood the test of time. People really do still love this film today, and people still do talk about it. And it deserves all the recognition that it gets. It definitely is like a really, really great film. I mean, this film was under the direction of John G. Avildsen, and of course, like everybody knows the cast in this film. This film stars Sylvester Stallone, Talia Shire, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, and Burgess Meredith, and all these characters are just so well known today. There's of course Rocky Balboa, Adrian, Paulie, Apollo Creed, Mickey, and it just goes on of all the famous characters in this franchise. They are just really famous characters, and of course this film is also all the Rocky films are written by Sylvester Stallone as well. And Sylvester Stallone actually did write the entire script for this film in just 3.5 days. And of course, well, not of course, shouldn't say that, but for those of you who don't know, these movies were actually based on a real life boxer, Chuck Wepner's life. And Chuck Wepner like was a kind of like a unknown boxer as well. Until he had a fight against Muhammad Ali, and he also faced Andre the Giant. So yeah, Chuck Webner is really is what really did inspire these movies, because Chuck Webner really pretty much had the life of Rocky Balboa. So this is an interesting bit of trivia for you. For those of you who don't know, these movies were actually based on a real life boxer's life. And rightly so. And this is of course is definitely a really, really great movie. It really does is like a very well done, really great rags to riches, this American dream story. And that's really how it goes. It just shows how nobody can really turn into a big name very, very well. They can really become something in their life, and that's the example here with Rocky Balboa. It just really is. The tagline for this film really does say it all. His whole life was a million to one shot, and that really does really put this movie. It really does explain this movie to a T. And so, this is just definitely is a really, really great film. Is it? Would I really call it the best Rocky film? Since it did win an Academy Award, I'm not quite sure if I can actually call it the best, because there are quite a few great Rocky films, but this definitely is a really, really great film nonetheless. So I would give this film definitely 3.75 stars out of 4. So it definitely is just a really, really great masterpiece. So all right, let me just get right into it. I'm probably gonna talk about this film pretty fast because as you could probably tell by my voice, I am kind of yeah, I think I'm catching a cold or something, because for the last pretty much all day I've been having a sore throat, and now it seems like it's starting to come to my nose. So you might kind of tell that I'm sounding kind of uh, sniffly and stuff. So I don't really want to talk too long, because this just kind of is irritating my throat. So I'm just gonna probably just talk about this film very quickly. But let me just talk about the film. All right. So as the film opens up, it's shown that Rocky Balboa really is pretty much just a no-name boxer, and as the film opens up, he's in a boxing match in some sort of town hall or something against Spider Rico. And yeah, people really were like hating the fight, and yeah, like people were just throwing a bunch of trash into the ring, and yeah, it just really wasn't. People like were just like not into the fight, and yeah, Rocky ended up winning the fight. Yeah, and it just showed that the life Rocky was winning. Well, the life Rocky was living in Philadelphia. Yeah, and yeah, it was just like showing that Rocky really was not making a lot of money, and yeah, he just really was living like a pretty like crummy life, really. And it showed that he knows like a woman, Adrian, of course, or she was like a part-time worker at a fish pet store and stuff. And then yeah, over time, of course, like Rocky, he was like building a romantic connection with Adrian. Yeah, in this film, like I'm sure a lot of you know this. Yeah, Rocky and Adrian aren't actually married in this movie. They're just like this is just like when their love is starting to form. Yeah, they don't get married until the sequel. So yeah, they're just like it's a boyfriend girlfriend relationship in this movie. Yeah, and then eventually, like it's revealed that the heavyweight boxing champion Apollo Creed is like was like set for a title fight in Philadelphia. There, where of course like this movie does take place, and yeah, yeah, and like except for like a bicentennial super fight with Apollo Creed against like Mackley Green. But yeah, of course, then like it was later like announced that Mackley Green was injured and unable to compete against Apollo Creed, and yeah, Apollo Creed was just told that all the other like potential replacements are just like booked or unavailable. So then Apollo Creed then just decided to just give a local underdog fighter an opportunity at the title. And so, yeah, and Apollo Creed was just like looking at the potential challengers that he could fight, and he eventually did come across a Rocky Balboa, which was like, and he just felt that it would really fit due to Rocky's nickname, the Italian Stallion, and so yeah, Apollo Creed this and picked Rocky to fight for the title on New Year's Day. Yeah in 1976. Yeah, this film is like set in like late 1975 as it starts off, and but then yeah, the fight does like is set for New Year's Day 1976. So yeah, and then yeah, it showed that like the gym that Rocky trains at, who's run by Mickey Goldmill, you know, like Mickey really is not very good to Rocky, and yeah, he just like is always criticizing Rocky because it's revealed later on in the film that like Mickey did like see a lot of potential in Rocky, and Rocky just wastes his potential. And also, yeah, Mickey is like pretty hard on Rocky at his gym, and he even like ends up giving away Rocky's locker at a point in this film. Yeah. Yeah. And it showed that Rocky is also friends with Adrian's brother Paulie, and it showed that Paulie's not really like very good to Adrian. Like he's always just yelled at her uh, and just like pretty much treating her like crap a lot of times. And then yeah, eventually on Thanksgiving night, then after Paulie treats Adrian like pretty badly, Rocky then just takes Adrian out for the night, and they like go to an ice rink and stuff. And eventually, like Rocky ended up taking Adrian back to his home with him, and then yeah, it eventually like led to them like eventually kissing and stuff and falling in love. Yeah, and I should also like bring up at one point in this film because it does like carry over to a future film. Now, there's like one point in this film where Rocky like comes across some like misbehaving kid, the teens and stuff, and then he takes one girl, Marie, home. Like he ends up walking her home, and he's like trying to give her some advice, but yeah, like at one point she just and once she finally gets home, she just like basically just blows him off and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because yeah, as like I'm sure a lot of you do know, like this eventually does like end up like carrying to a future film, which yeah, I won't talk about that quite yet, but yeah, if you know these movies, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'll get to that when I do reach that movie. I'll talk about this again. Yeah, I just felt that I should just talk about that real quick since it does carry to a future film. Yeah, and eventually, Miles Jurgens or Jurgens, is that how it's said? Yeah, eventually calls Rocky over to his office, this and stuff, and then yeah, it was on behalf of Apollo Creed, and then Rocky just thought that it was just like to recruit him as just like another sparring partner, but then and like Miles Jurgens then just told Rocky that Apollo Creed wants to fight him for the title on New Year's Day, and yeah, at first Rocky was pretty reluctant to it, but eventually does agree. He'll be paid like $150,000 for the fight, yeah. And then yeah, Rocky was then just like training, training for the fight throughout the next several weeks, and it showed that at one point, like as he was in Paulie's meat locker, since like Paulie like had a meat business, as he was in like the meat locker with Paulie, like Rocky was using like some of the meat carcasses as punching bags, which I guess has become like real popular with people because over the years like there's been a lot of people like uh, punching meats and stuff. So yeah, I guess like you can say that this is the film that really did start that. So yeah, and then eventually like Mickey then like came to Rocky's home and then like offered to train Rocky and work his corner in the fight. And at first Rocky like didn't want Mickey's help, but then yeah, Rocky then and accepted Mickey's offer. And yeah, Mickey also like explained to Rocky how he was a former bantamweight fighter in the 1920s and he didn't have a manager or anything. And so he wants to just work Rocky's corner. So yeah. And then and yeah, over time like Paulie was then just like becoming really jealous of Rocky's success, but then yeah, Rocky then just agreed to advertise his meat business for the fight. Right, yeah. And then yeah, eventually then it just like had a training montage with like Rocky running down the streets of Philadelphia and stuff, and had the "Gonna Fly Now" song, which was the original version. It was before like Bill Conti actually did uh, compose his own version of the song. Yeah, of course, like if I didn't even talk about Bill Conti, yeah, and all these films, of course, you do have like some great music from Bill Conti. Yeah, I do know like back when I made the top when I counted down the top 10 best songs in these movies back in 2012. And I did talk about just how great Bill Conti's music was. And I even like put Bill Conti on my top 10 best movie composers list that I did last year. So yeah, Bill Conti's music is just really great in these movies. Yeah, and then yeah, we then eventually ended up getting to the fight on New Year's Day, and yeah, Rocky like was coming out in like a pretty like baggy robe, and then Apollo made a very dramatic entrance, and he was like dressed as George Washington, and eventually when he got to the ring, was then dressed as Uncle Sam, and then yeah, it kind of just like during the introduction, like intro, like Joe Frazier was at the was there too. Yeah, yeah. And then once like the fight actually then started, or like at first like Apollo of course like really wasn't taking Rocky too seriously. He just had really a lot of overconfidence, and then Rocky then actually then knocked down Apollo in the first round, and that was actually the first time Apollo had ever been knocked down in his career. And then after that, then that's when just Apollo then was starting to take Rocky a lot more seriously for the rest of the fight. Right, yeah, and then Apollo then made a comeback, and in the first round he actually broke Rocky's nose. Yeah, and then it just showed like the highlights throughout the fight, and yeah, and like eventually like we heard the going to distance music like during the 14th round, and Yeah, it seemed like at that point, like Rocky was going to get knocked out by Apollo, but yeah, Rocky wouldn't stay down, and then like he just kept egging Apollo on for more. And then yeah, by the 15th round, just yeah, Rocky's eye was just like completely swollen shut, and he had Mickey just like cut his eyelid open, and so he could actually open up his eye, which yeah, that was like a little graphic right there, just seeing like once his eyelid got cut, the blood just went everywhere. Yeah, and then and yeah, Apollo also did have like some injuries of his own throughout the fight. And then we got to the 15th round, yeah, which yeah, the 15th round then started, and then just yeah, it just like continued to go, and it looked like Rocky was actually going about to really knock down Apollo and possibly win. But then, yeah, the bell then sounded to end the fight. But yeah, that 15th round, it seemed to be pretty short. I mean, yeah, as I'm sure like all of you know, like boxing rounds are last 3 minutes each, and yeah, when they cut, and then, yeah, that last round, it didn't even seem like it was 3 minutes at all. It seemed like a pretty short round. It kind of just seemed like they stopped the fight so Apollo wouldn't lose. So yeah, and it showed like Adrian was also like watching the fight, like from like the 14th round or so, from Rocky's dressing room area, and then once the bell sounded, ending the fight, like there were just like sportscasters and press members just like all like storming the ring, trying to get interviews with Rocky and Apollo, and And then yeah, Rocky and then Apollo then just promised that there wouldn't be a rematch, and then and yeah, and as like just press members and sportscasters were like just trying to get interviews with Rocky and Apollo, like the uh, uh, Michael Jurgens would then just like like announcing that the fight was the greatest exhibition of guts and stamina in the history of the ring, and as forecasters were like trying to interview Rocky, he was shouting for Adrian, and Adrian was then just like trying to run through the crowd to get to Rocky and stuff. And then yeah, then Jurgens was then just announcing the judges' scorecards, and yeah, then like Apollo Creed was declared the winner by a split decision, and eventually Adrian then ended up getting to the ring with Rocky, and then yeah, they just embraced each other. It didn't really seem like they were actually listening to the decision, that they just like seemed to just care that they were with each other, and and then yeah, it just ended with Apollo being declared the winner, and then just Rocky and Adrian embracing. So yeah, and then the movie then just ended like that. So yeah, the ending I felt was like a little abrupt, but yeah, it was still like yeah, this is still just like a really great movie. Yeah, I would say definitely watch it, but yeah, you all already have all already obviously watched it, so I don't even need to recommend it. So yeah, just a really great movie, as you all know. So yeah, like I said, 3.75 stars out of 4. So yeah, just a really great movie. Yeah, has stood the test of time, deserving of all the praise. So yeah, just yeah, Rocky is just a masterpiece. So yeah, all right. So yeah, I guess that's all I can really say about it. So yeah, so I guess that's it for my review of Rocky One. Oh yeah, I should also like mention real quick. Yeah, during the fight, like I just thought it was funny how uh, like in the arena they had like banners of Rocky and Apollo in their boxing gear. Yeah, it showed that of course like in the fight Apollo was wearing like the American flag, red, white, and blue trunks, and like the banner for Rocky actually like had the colors on his trunks reversed. Like Rocky's actual tights that he wore in the fight were white with a red trimming, but yeah, in the banner his tights were red with white trimming. So I just thought it was kind of funny that they like ended up like reversing his colors a little bit. They well, not a little bit. They reversed his colors. I just found that funny, and I thought it was interesting how in the Rocky video game that was released in like 2002, there were like two different costumes, and the alternate costume for Rocky the Rocky One costume was actually that uh, those red trunks with the white stripes. So I thought that was kind of interesting that they included that. So yeah, yeah, that was just something I want to talk about real quick because I forgot to talk about that earlier. But yeah, so anyway, so yeah, I guess this is it for my review of Rocky One. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I apologize if this review didn't seem like that well talked about, but yeah, just because like since I'm just like feeling not feeling too great because I got like this cold with my throat and nose and stuff. Yeah, I just like really can't talk about this as well as I probably could. So yeah, but yeah, for what I was able to talk about in this review, I hope you guys enjoy it. And yes, so stay tuned for more Rocky reviews coming in the next a week and a half or so. So yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.